U.S. soldiers, Blackwater-U.S.A. guards fired at fleeing cars. The first U.S. troops on scene found no evidence of shooting by Iraqis. Baghdad, Blackwater-U.S.A. Guards shot at Iraqi civilians as they tried to drive away from Baghdad Square on September 16th, according to a report compiled by the first U.S. soldiers to arrive at the scene, where they found no evidence whatsoever that any Iraqis had fired weapons. It appeared to me they were fleeing the scene when they were engaged. It has every indication of an excessive shooting, said Lieutenant Colonel Mike Tarsa, whose soldiers reached Nisor Square 20 to 25 minutes after the gunfire subsided. His soldiers report, based upon their observations at the scene, eyewitness interviews, and discussions with Iraqi police, concluded that there was no enemy activity whatsoever involved, and described the shootings as a criminal event. Their conclusions mirrored those reached by the Iraqi government, which has said the Blackwater mercenary guards killed 17 people in cold blood. Tarsa said they found no evidence to indicate that the Blackwater mercenary guards were provoked or entered into a confrontation. I did not see anything that indicated they were fired upon, said Tarsa, the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 82nd Field Artillery Regiment of the 2nd Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division. He also said it appeared that several drivers had made U-turns and were trying to move away from the square when their vehicles were hit by gunfire from Blackwater mercenary guards. Lawsuit filed in Washington on Thursday. An injured Iraqi man and the families of 3 Iraqi civilians who were killed in the September 16 shootings sued the company in federal court, calling the incident a massacre and senseless slaughter that was the result of corporate policies in the war zone. Blackwater has created and fostered a culture of lawlessness amongst its employees, encouraging them to act in the company's financial interests at the expense of innocent human life. Susan L. Burke, one of the lawyers who filed the suit, said the families approached legal representatives in Baghdad in the hope of obtaining accountability for the shootings. The families are hopeful we can make a difference, Burke said, adding that she hopes the case will shed light on the cowboy culture she believes contractors have fostered in Iraq. There is a sense of wanting to do something to make it right. Yes, God is watching. In the hours and days after the Nisor Square shootings, the U.S. military sought to distance itself from Blackwater. Dozens of soldiers went door to door to seek out victims, offer condolence payments, and stressed that the military was not involved in the senseless shootings. Tarsa and his soldiers have said their actions underscore the long-standing tensions between the U.S. military from private security companies, and the military's concerns that such shootings and the lack of accountability for the private security industry could undermine seriously U.S. efforts to stabilize Iraq. Absolutely tragic. It was absolutely tragic, said the commander of the 1st Cavalry Division and the Army's top commander for Baghdad. In the aftermath of these, everybody looks and says, it's the Americans, and that's us. It's horrible timing. It's yet another challenge, another setback, he said. There is nothing hidden that will not be brought to the light. The Washington Post on Thursday examined a storyboard of the soldiers' assessment that has been forwarded to senior U.S. military commanders. Photos taken by aerial drones shortly after the shooting, and sworn statements by 2 U.S. soldiers at the scene that day. The Post also reviewed photos taken by U.S. soldiers of the shooting's aftermath. These, along with interviews with 4 of Tarsus soldiers who inspected the scene, revealed previously undisclosed details. At least 2 cars, a black 4-door taxi, and a blue Volkswagen sedan had their back windshields shot out, but their front windshields were intact, indicating they were shot while driving away from the square, according to the photos and soldiers. The Volkswagen, which crashed into a bus stand, had blood splatter on the inside of its front windshield and windows. 1 person was killed, soldiers said. U.S. soldiers did not find any bullets whatsoever that came from AK-47 assault rifles or BKC machine guns used by Iraqi policemen and soldiers. They found evidence of ammunition used in American-made weapons, those used by Blackwater-U.S.A, paid mercenary assassins, including M4 rifle 5.56mm brass casings, M240B machine gun 7.62mm casings, M203 40mm grenade launcher casings, and stun grenade dunnage or packing. A white sedan carrying a doctor and her son had not entered the Nassau Square traffic circle where the Blackwater vehicles had stopped when it was fired upon, according to the aerial photos. News reports have said the mercenary guards shot at the car because they believed it approached them. I was surprised at the caliber of weapons being used, said Captain Don Cherry. My guys have 203s with non-lethal rounds we use as warning shots. It's a rubber ball that bounces off the windshield. This is a hand grenade you are flying out there, he added. People are very upset about this. What kind of deal was all that? Yes, God is watching. He's looking down from heaven, and he will judge. Period.